What's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with NoOffSeason.com. Welcome to the Sports Card Strategy Show special edition at the National. This is my day one recap. For those of you who can't make it to the National, you'll get to see a little bit behind the scenes in terms of what everything looks like on setup day. And I'm going to show you my pickups and a little bit of VIP items here. So let's get into it. Setup day, walking around the show floor here in Rosemont, Illinois was very exciting. NoOffSeason.com and the Sports Card Strategy Show. We are at booth 3216 with our friends from Signs of the Times Collectibles. Tim Larson is the new main man. Move over, Chad and Lefty. Tim Larson, new main man here at NoOffSeason.com for the National, hooking us up with half of his booth. And as I walk around the show floor, as the corporate sponsors are setting up, I realize that this show is about, I said 20 times bigger than last year's National. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's probably not an exaggeration to say it's 5 or 6 times bigger than last year's National, just in terms of the square footage, just in terms of the massive amount of space where there are either corporate booths or card vendors. Here you see a lot of the corporate booths. I'm walking around backstage as people are setting up. And then as I continue to walk around, I see just the massive amounts of sports card vendors that are set up with amazing cards, memorabilia out their buttholes, and just, so many cool things to take in as a collector. So many new companies that have been around for a couple of years but are really starting to make an impact. Tag Grading has 2 different booths, a display and then a grading center, and it's very impressive what Tag Grading is doing, I have to say. As much as we talk about PSA on the Sports Card Strategy Show, I actually would not be shocked if Tag Grading takes a solid part of the market share over the next 5 to 10 years. V-Friends set up, so you have a lot of, it's a good example of collectibles, card-related collectibles that are not sports cards. But that are other types of cards, and completely made up out of Gary V's head. V-Friends, there it is. Gary V is actually there setting up with the V-Friends team, and kind of surprising that you would see Gary. Like I would have thought we would have seen Gary show up later on in the week, but as you can see here in my B-roll, Gary is right there with the rest of the team, setting everything up for the V-Friends booth, getting down to like even the order that the V-Friends are being shown in there. And, it's impressive what that man does. Gotta pay respect. So anyway, you have your newer companies like your Tags, your V-Friends. Then you've got your staples, your Paninis, your Upper Decks. You saw Sports Card Investor a minute ago. Obviously, one of the content leaders in the hobby. And Jeff Wilson, his team doing a great job. Shout out to Kelly, Ben, Teapot, Adam, who I talked with yesterday from their social media team. I'm part of their team, of course, and proud to be part of their team. But, Dave and Adam's huge display. You got Leighton Sports Cards, huge display. And what's interesting to me about companies like that is that, not only are they sports card vendors, but they're also, set up in the corporate space, promoting some other things. And of course, here you recognize the Roadshow cards. Our guy Chase Krim in the house, and there he is doing his thing, making some sales. And love to Chase Krim. This is the first time I saw Chase. You guys will appreciate this. Sports Illustrated for Kids caught my eye. So there's a little bit of everything here, but a box of Sports Illustrated for Kids got me pretty pumped up. And man, probably could have bought this entire box for about $500. wasn't ready to drop that type of coin just yet. On Wednesday of the National, this is a recap from Wednesday, and the you know the show didn't open until to the general public until 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and that's when things started to pick up. And impressive displays though. You're just gonna see a lot of me walking around. You got old wax, you got tons of new wax, you got breakers. Just want to give you guys who aren't able to make it to the show a glimpse into just what the heck is happening here. A lot of value boxes caught my eye. This is Santiago Sports, who I was not familiar with, but I was pretty impressed with their setup. You'll see this is kind of a standard looking setup that you would see at a lot of different card shows, but at the National, everyone's just bringing it as strong as possible. So you see all of their value boxes, all of their singles, all of their showcases, just absolutely some of the most beautiful cards you're ever going to see are here at the National. One of the many, many reasons I encourage any of you who are able to make it out ever. It's a treat. It's worth it. It's a different experience. And, you've got just cards that you just don't see online. For example, this box of National Treasures. National Treasures, I've never purchased a case or a box of National Treasures, but the base cards, I believe that the base cards are all serial numbered to 99, and you obviously get like somewhat of a full checklist. So that box just kind of has all the singles over the years that particular vendor had collected. And it's just interesting to see. Just don't see stuff like that very often in a value box. $3 a card for National Treasures. Now, they weren't great cards, but then, of course, in the showcase, you've got cards. That's where basically everything's $1,000 and up. So you're going to see stuff like Luka patch autos, SGA patch autos, Jordan autos, Justin Herbert patch autos, Jordan rookies, other valuable Jordan cards. You got memorabilia like signed baseballs, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays signed baseballs, Nolan Ryan signed photo, Magic and Bird dual signed photos framed, Mike Tyson, great action shot, flags from the Open Championship and the U.S. Open. And then, of course, you've got stuff like this just kind of made me think of a lot of you where there's value boxes with game worn stuff for like $2, and they're not going to be high end players, but for collectors, that's a neat treat. You know what I mean? Here's a bit of a behind the scenes look at the nooffseason.com booth. We're right over by PWCC, Zion Cases, BCW, HGA. Here's the Sign of the Times crew. Tim Larson from Signs of the Times Collectibles has some amazing memorabilia and cards that you'll probably want to check out. His son Jameson was helping me out yesterday, helping Tim out. Get your slabs cracked at booth 3216 if you're watching this in time and you're able to make it to the National. We're cracking slabs. We had a lot of people come by yesterday. I cracked probably about 10 to 15 slabs myself. I just wasn't anticipating slab cracking to start until today. Today's Thursday when I'm recording this, and this footage here from yesterday, Wednesday. We had some slab cracking in it here in a minute, so get ready for that. I did a pretty good job. I was pretty happy with my results from my slab cracking for the patrons of the National. I was also fortunate enough to meet up with some good friends from Whatnot, some good friends from Sports Card Investor, like I mentioned a minute ago, and went to the Whatnot party last night at Dave and Buster's. Thanks for the invite for the Whatnot crew. Lucy and Liz, shout out. Great hanging out with everybody from Whatnot. Met some new people that work there, and very, very fun. So thanks for the dinner. Tim at his booth, Tim Larson at our booth at booth 3216, has some amazing stuff for not only sports card investors and flippers, but also F1 enthusiasts. There's Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, autographs. A lot of their autographs on memorabilia pieces, photos, stuff from races actually. And he's got some rare memorabilia that's very, very unique. In addition to the more wide-ranging sports stuff. So Chase Krim and I mentioned, made a deal. Got a Cam Thomas and a Treylon Burks auto from him. I'll tell you that story here in a second, but here's some footage of Chase and I at the Texas Roadshow booth. He has the best prices. Here's me cracking some slabs for the first time, getting out the new instruments, if you will, the new screwdrivers that I bought for the National to crack open the slabs. This is a little bit of a taste of what it looks like for those of you who are wondering what this kind of slab cracking experience is going to be at our booth. But we actually generated a bit of a buzz. It was fun. There were a lot of people coming over. I was surprised. I thought we would see... Now, this was only not even really day one. This was pre-day one. I consider day one to be Thursday because that's when everything opens up to the general public at 10 a.m. Yesterday was like VIP day, starting at I guess you could pick up your VIP stuff at around 10, but then the show floor sneak peek was from like 2 to 8, which is kind of why I'm exhausted today because we didn't get done until 8. Usually I'm in bed by like 9 or 9:30, so definitely didn't get to bed till after the Whatnot party last night. But I would have expected to see a lot of CSG and SGC, HGA and Beckett slabs, just for the sheer reason that if you are a regular audience member of the Sports Card Strategy Show, you know we do a lot of analysis around the pricing of PSA slabs related to those other companies. And the interesting thing is that I saw pretty much all PSA slabs. I cracked like 10 or 11 PSA slabs yesterday. There was one gentleman, Nathan, who was awesome. He came into the booth and asked if he could crack his own slab. I didn't see that coming, but he was actually not only super pumped that we were cracking slabs, but he was even more excited that I let him come into our booth and crack his own Beckett slab. But other than his Beckett slab, that was really the only non-PSA slab. I cracked all PSA slabs. He cracked his Beckett slab. Here you see, this is a Steph Curry PSA 7. And it was a younger gentleman, probably, I would say, maybe a gentleman around age 10 or 11. Gideon, shout out Gideon. And Gideon just wanted this Steph just out of the PSA slab. He just didn't like the PSA slab. I don't even think he cared that it was, I don't even think he cared what the grade was. He just didn't want it in the PSA slab. He wanted it in his own one touch. So just interesting there. Gideon wanted it in a one touch. So come to the nooffseason.com sports card strategy booth at booth 3216 and you get what you ask for. And Gideon, this is me putting it in your one touch for you. And everybody else, we do have penny sleeves and top loaders and card savers for everybody. So I was able to get, this is Gideon and his Steph Curry holding up his label there. And some more B-roll of me cracking some more slabs here for those of you who are interested. And I'm going to show you my pickups and everything like that here in a second. And some VIP swag that I can take you guys through that I think is pretty cool. So, but I do think this is interesting. Some really nice soccer cards from a gentleman named Anthony. He had a Catarina Vicario, and he had a Giovanni Reina auto, and we had a good conversation. The way that his Giovanni Reina auto front of the slab actually came off, left like a good solid lower third triangle on the slab, which really challenged all of my nerves and ability to get that off without damaging the card, but I was able to do it, and we laughed about it. It was suspenseful, and but we got it done, so that was great. And really, really appreciate everybody coming up to the booth, everyone's support. They were telling me I shouldn't do it for free. They were telling me I should charge for it, but you know what? My primary business is not to be a slab cracker. It's to help you guys make money flipping sports cards. And this is just a service we're providing for the audience, you, our audience members, and the patrons of the National, hopefully future audience members, future family members of nooffseason.com and the Sports Card Strategy Show. So it takes me a little while to get through Anthony's stuff, but we get it done. Card number 1 gets out, no problem. I'll take a quick coffee sip here. And looking forward to Graybo's is hosting our audience meetup tonight. So for those of you who can make it out tonight at Crust Brewing, if you're in the Rosemont, Illinois area and you're at the National, Crust Brewing is a solid spot. We're going to be there from 7 to 9:30 p.m. And Graybo's, shout out to Denny One Time and Ryan and Graybo and Don. We're going to see all of those guys out there. We should have the sports card Dr. Chad Gill. We will definitely have Kendall the Lefty McKee in the house. We should have Andy Kaysen from Football Card Quest in the house. Should be a great crew. Might even see Paul Schmidt's Buckeye Dill. Really looking forward to it. So make sure you come check us out if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. This is we're just getting started here. We're just getting started, nooffseason.com fam. So get pumped about it. I am in my hotel room in Rosemont, Illinois. For those of you who can see my background, it is not my normal background, but and my voice probably doesn't sound like I'm well rested, because I'm not, because the National is a marathon. It's a marathon. You're sprinting, and then you're jogging, and then you might rest for a second, and you don't sleep that much, especially when you're me, because you're coming back to your hotel room and you're creating content like this for you guys after cracking slabs and creating content at the show, doing it for the people. Doing it for the people. Behind the scenes at the National, Paul Hickey, nooffseason.com. Got a few minutes left here where you see how to crack a slab. Let's talk about how to crack a slab real quick. So I'm using my pliers. I'm cutting off the corners. And in this case, I've got these. I ordered these, for those of you who want to do this at home, I ordered these sneaker displays off of Amazon. 3 sneaker cubes. I think it was $70 total for these 3 sneaker cubes. And what I like about these is that it's contained all of the plastic. I'm not even wearing my sunglasses in this photo because these sneaker cubes kept everything right there in front of me. So this is something I might just keep in my office at home now, and I won't have to go out into my garage, crack the slabs, and have the plastic fly everywhere. And I think this is a better method than the plastic bag that people talk about. I was never really able to pull off the plastic bag thing. I don't know why. I'm just not doing it correctly, but I will say I was very, very pleased. Almost 0 plastic pieces from the slabs made it outside of these sneaker displays. So card number 2 for Anthony comes out perfectly. I'm sleeving it up. And then, man, it took me a while to get past this Giovanni Reyna that you're going to see here in a second. And then I'm going to show you guys my VIP items and my card show pickups. Then we're going to call this a wrap. And I'm going to get over to Rosemont early to talk to our intern team that's helping me out today. Early shout out to guys like John, Harry, Dave, Allen. Of course, we're going to have the Lefty. Can't wait to see him. Word is that he is on time for his flight. Let's just make sure that that's still the case. And he's looking at items on eBay. Good for him. Texting me eBay links, telling me what items are tempting him. We're gonna do some good would you rathers here from the National. Pumped about some would you rathers with Lefty. That's AKA the Gauntlet. Get pumped for that. A lot of good stuff happening here in Rosemont, Illinois. There was even internet yesterday. For those of you who have been to the National, or if you were at the National last year in Atlantic City, internet was a hot commodity. You couldn't get it. Couldn't get it most of the show. And the data didn't even really work in Atlantic City. So like if you know your 5G or your LTE or whatever, you were SOL last year, man. So this year much better. Rosemont, it'll be different today, I'm sure, because today there's going to be, I mean, I would imagine about 10 times the amount of people as there were yesterday, like literally 10 times the amount, because there should be 100,000 people here. Yesterday there were probably about 10,000 in the VIP time. Got to meet up with a lot of our audience members. I don't want to forget to talk about that. Mosaic Joe was in the house. Howard, shout out Howard, my main curmudgeon. Let's see, we had Jeff from Dinged Corners. He and I got to spend a little bit of time together at the booth, so that was fun. Yeah, a lot of audience members stopping by and meeting each other, which is fun. There's going to be even more today and the rest of the week. And definitely let me know if you're not able to make it. Like, shout it out. This is for you. These videos are for you, and they're obviously not like our normal shows. I mean, I'm fumbling around my words here. I'm in my hotel room. I'm trying to show you guys some B-roll. I was trying to show you guys what I was doing yesterday at the booth cracking slabs. This is me just absolutely not sure what to do about this Reyna. Have you ever tried to crack a slab and then the cover doesn't come off correctly? I know for a fact that some of you and some of our co-hosts on the show probably have had this happen. Luckily, these tools they're pretty precision-esque tools. Like these pliers, I mean, you can cut with these pliers like the smallest amount of surface area on a slab. So what I had to do with this Reyna here, you see me like really sweating with this bottom left corner. Literally just a triangle on a bottom left corner of this Reyna slab was all I had to work with. And I'm trying desperately not to damage this card. And what I ended up doing was just cutting off the bottom left corner and then cracking enough off the bottom of the slab, which I've never had to do. Usually I'm cracking up at the top at the label. But because the pliers are so tiny, I was able to crack the bottom left corner and get it off. So that's what I end up doing here. You got to be, when you're in any kind of business, even the card business like this, especially the card business, you got to be crafty. And you got to solve problems. Business is all about solving problems. Making money flipping sports cards is all about not only seeing where the opportunity is, but solving problems on the fly. So that's what I was trying to do here by cracking off this bottom left corner of this slab. Got it off. Did not damage the card. So again, what was interesting about these cards is that a lot of low PSA grades. People were coming in and I was asking them, like, why are you having me crack this? Like, what's the play? What's the strategy? And low PSA grades. Like this Reyna was a PSA 5. So here's me cracking it off. Boom, get the card out. Now, what was cool about, one thing I've never seen before is that PSAs apparently started to have like this film over the card. It's not like a protective layer like a Beckett, but it's a film over the card. So got Anthony his 3 cards, and great guy. Great to meet Anthony. This is Nathan cracking his Beckett slab. He had a Pokemon card in there. No idea anything about Pokemon, but Nathan was a great guy. And then I'm cracking a slab for Johnny. Johnny had a Luca rated rookie, hollow, and so got that out successfully. And then Johnny's friend Wyatt, I believe, had a Shaq on-card auto, like personally serial numbered to 50, like not inscribed, but it was a so the Luka was like a PSA 6, and the Shaq was like a PSA 7 with a 7 auto. So those are the main reasons why a lot of these people were wanting to move away from the PSA slab and just get them raw. So like, I think the Luka sold for like $20 more raw or something like that. So we talk about the strategy of cracking and selling raw. We know Lefty does it. Chad doesn't like doing it, to each his own. I think Andy Kaysen, I've heard Andy talk about that as a strategy. And so I think it's pretty accepted as a strategy. And like yesterday at the booth, I can tell you that that's what people were wanting to do. They were wanting to get, out of curiosity, I think they were wanting to just see the card outside the slab to try to understand further why it got the grade that it got, but they knew that they didn't want it in the slab, and whether they were going to submit it to a different grading company, submit it back to PSA, or submit it or just sell it raw, it was going to be one of those situations for them. So a lot of interesting stuff talking to the patrons and attendees of the National, a lot of smart people. And I hope people come back to the booth today for some solid show and tell content. I think they will. I'm confident that they will come back to the booth today for some solid show and tell content. So a lot of great stuff here. And I'm going to start to show you guys some of my show pickups and VIP items. So just real quick as we wrap up the show. Day 1 recap here at the National. I'm not sure if there's going to be a day 2 or a day 3 recap, guys. We'll see. There's going to be some show and tells, a lot of show and tells, and there's going to be some shows where Lefty and I are creating some content from the booth, and I'm going to post that later. So a lot of different content from the National. Don't you worry. But hopefully it won't just be me in my hotel room giving you recaps. We'll see. So anyway, if you're a VIP, you get a lot of stuff that's just like promotional flyers and stuff. But you also get, this year I got a V-Friends Protective Panther Limited out of $4.99. It's a sticker though, so I'm not sure what that's going to be worth, if anything. Maybe nothing. This is probably one of the more exciting things I got. It's a Panini pack, and it's sealed. But it's got Bryce Young right here on the front with the RC shield. So Bryce Young in his Carolina Panthers uniform, and you know, first pro jersey Bryce Young card that I've seen. And he was just named the starter actually yesterday. So that's big news. Good timing for me on that. Another sealed pack from Upper Deck. So you get a sealed pack from Panini, a sealed pack from Upper Deck. Michael Jordan VIP prominent cuts on the front of that one, so not bad. You get a weird V-Friends sticker, and then you get a Leaf card, promotional Leaf card. So I got an Erling Haaland, good player to get, and not a bad action shot. Kind of a cool design from Leaf. Chicago 2023 VIP design from Leaf. So shout out Brian Gray there. And then you get an Ultra Pro, one touch, boom. So that's it. There was a VIP party. The party had BJ Armstrong signing autographs. I did not wait. It was a big line for BJ's autograph. I did not want to wait in that. This is just my Angel Reese slab that I talked about on the show the other day, where it was my L of the week with a crack on the side. I was going to try to see if PSA could crack it out and re-slab it for me for free. I don't know if I'm going to actually spend time. Time is super valuable here at the National. I wrote an article for sportscardinvestor.com on the survival guide to the National, and I think that it's important to do a lot of things that will save you from having to use your time unwisely at the National. Like Standing in line for PSA to have them reslab an Angel Reese PSA 5 probably isn't the best use of time when I'm at a card show like this, and I could always mail it to PSA. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Maybe a slot will open up, or somebody will come over to the booth that can help me out with that. Not sure. So, gonna show you my pickups here in a second. So the story behind the Cam Thomas and the Treylon Burks that I mentioned earlier is that my guy Chase Cram, our guy, you know him, audience, you know Chase Cram from Texas Roadshow Shop. He's not only a loyal audience member of the show, but he also has been on the show and provided his insights quite a bit. And he knows my affinity for Cam Thomas. Now, I was in on Cam Thomas early. I bought a lot of his rookie ticket autos pretty inexpensively. And then as soon as he put up 3 40-point games, I sold all of them. So I made a good bit of money on Cam Thomas last year. And so as soon as I walked up to the Roadshow Cards booth, Chase had this like waiting for me, this Cam Thomas impeccable patch auto, rookie patch auto on card out of 99. And so you see the sticker, there's $100. I said, all right, Chase, what's the Sports Card Strategy Show special price? And he said $80. And I was thinking, as I was thinking about it, I saw this card below it in the showcase, and I thought of Andy Kaysen. This is a Treylon Burks Contenders rookie ticket auto. Not optic, just Contenders rookie ticket auto, but really nice card. And Andy and I both think Treylon Burks is a super sleeper this year in Tennessee. We'll see what happens. But it caught my eye, and I thought, you know what, that's a nice card. It's got a $20 sticker on it. I don't take too many flyers on football skill position players. For those of you who know me, who know the content that we put out here at nooffseason.com and the Sports Card Strategy Show, I don't take too many flyers. And so I said to Chase, what's the price on that if we do 2 of them together? This is how you work it, okay? Chase said, I'll give you both of them for $80. So I basically got $20 off the Cam Thomas and the Treylon Burks for free. Best pricing in the world. If you go up to find Chase Crim and tell him that you're a loyal audience member of the Sports Card Strategy Show, maybe even reference the pricing that I got on this Cam Thomas and Treylon Burks play, he's going to give you a deal. I promise you that. He is going to give you a deal. The bigger, much bigger pickup is that, you know, after I bought these cards from Chase was like, well, who else are you looking for? And I just basically said 2 names, Jackson Churio and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And there was a gentleman who was buying a ton of cards from Chase right next to me named Zach. And Zach said, I've got a Churio. I don't know how I got it. Pretty lucky to get it. But it's sitting back at my booth. And it's the 2022 Bowman Chrome first prospect auto PSA 10 of Jackson Churio. I'm telling you, this guy Zach has amazing, amazing cards. I'm going to tell you his booth number if you're at the National, because you should go check out his cards in addition to Chase's cards at Texas Roadshow. So Zach is at booth 1258. Now, good luck finding anyone's booth. I mean, you will find it. It's actually very well. There's tons of amazing signage. There's rows. And if you look up in the rafters, if you're here in Rosemont, look up in the rafters and look for the row number. So he would be row 1200. You'll find it. And go to booth 1258. It's a great booth. It's got amazing cards. Zach's cards are amazing. Great guy. He said, I'll give you the Churio for a deal because you're a good friend of Chase. And boy, did I get a deal on this Jackson Churio. So this Jackson Churio goes for $675. And I said to Zach after he told me the price, this is the Churio right here. For those of you listening on Apple and Spotify, you can't see it. But again, it's a beautiful PSA 10 of Jackson Churio's Bowman Chrome First Prospect Auto. And I said to Zach, I was like, well, the comps on this are $675. And he's like, I'll give it to you for 500. And I said, yeah, but that's crazy. That's a crazy deal. And he's like, you're a friend of Chase, so that's the least I could do. So shout out to Chase for that, and Zach. So 500. So that's like, it's not often that you would buy a card for almost $200 below comps, especially a card that like this one that's likely to go up, that could double when he gets called up at some point over the next 12 months. But it could even be like the next 3 months. But anyway, it's not likely that you're going to get that big of a deal, but it is likely you should get deals similar to that. Like, you should not pay comps at card shows like this. If you are, like, then you're probably doing it for your PC, and that's fine. And maybe it's like a rare card in a showcase that you're doing it for your PC. But like, if you're doing it to flip, then you shouldn't. Like, I'm doing all of these to flip, obviously. I think Cam Thomas is gonna have another day at some point, and then I'll sell that. I'll sell that Burks as soon as he has a big day, literally like one big game, and I'll sell it. I'll sell Churio upon call up, and then this is the SGA. So this is a 2018 Prism, red, white, and blue Prism. So it's his rookie red, white, and blue Prism. It kind of matches the Clippers uniform that he's in, so I kind of like it. Not necessarily technically a color match, but the Clippers are red, white, and blue, so you could call it a color match. And it's a PSA 10, stickers at 150, comps at around 150. Got it for 110 from Chase. And at that point, you don't even need to negotiate. I mean, Chase is like, he's already doing the negotiation for you. He's probably giving me a better price than I would have even, better price than I would have expected. I probably would have even paid him a little bit more, but he opened it at 110, and I just said done. So you got to love that. Everybody, those are my pickups. That's my B-roll from behind the scenes of day one, or not even day one, Wednesday of the National. For those of you who are curious what a Wednesdays look like, you saw a lot of setup, definitely a lot of cards, but more so towards the end of the day. It's VIP day, so there's not as many people there. That's probably one of the reasons why the VIP ticket is worth it, because you saw the VIP giveaway items. They're not that great. But they are nevertheless VIP giveaway items, and I think the real value, most likely, whoever you talk to, they'll probably agree that the real value of the VIP ticket at the National is to simply get in early. Get in early every day and get in early to the show overall. So everybody, thanks so much for watching and listening to this special edition of the Sports Card Strategy Show from my hotel room. Please check out nooffseason.com. We're going to have tons of improved content for you to make money flipping sports cards. And don't forget to stay subscribed. And if you're not already subscribed to the Sports Card Strategy Show on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you soon, everybody. Thanks so much. I'm Paul Hickey from nooffseason.com. Have a great day.